Hi everyone, I'm Carolyn. Welcome back to another episode of As I See It. This is a channel where I share my thoughts and education and research and opinions on politics and social issues pretty much around the world. I did a video recently about I did a brief history of the Ukraine, and I got a note this morning in comments from a Ukrainian, and I wanted to share his note with you. I want to share with you what he said because I think it's really important to understand history from the perspective of someone who's there. I do my best to research before I make videos to give you correct information, but there's nothing like hearing it from someone who has lived it. So thank you so much, Volodymyr Ardukov, I think it is. Volodymyr Ardukov. Anyway, he's in the comments. So I'm going to read you his email and comment along the way. He not only commented on my video, he commented on some of the comments from viewers that he saw. So first of all, Volodymyr, thank you so much for writing. He actually is a fan of Carolyn's RV life. What did he say? Last summer, he had his first RV trip and was planning another one, a longer one this summer, but then of course everything changed, and my heart and my thoughts are with you, and I'm just broken up about what's happening to you and your people. So I'm going to read you his email. Hi there. It was nice to see a view from outside. Here in Kyiv, when I was in college, it was Kyiv, and now it's Kyiv, so excuse me. Also, in a previous video, I kept saying the Ukraine. When I was in college, it was the Ukraine, and now it's just Ukraine. So Kyiv, not Kiev. So here in Kyiv, oh, you're in Kyiv. Oh, you're in Kyiv. So things are bad in Kyiv right now. Here in Kyiv, where I live, it seems a bit more dramatic than maybe from the U.S. Here in Kyiv, where I live, it seems a bit more dramatic than maybe from the U.S. Also, after reading some comments under this video, I'd like to make few moments I believe are important. Of course, he's Ukrainian. Remember, he speaks Ukrainian. Number one, it may look like Ukraine has always been split into two nations, pro-West and pro-East. However, it's not. We have always been a nation forced to look for allies, but we have always been staying Ukrainians first of all. That really hit me. I reflected on the video that I made and what I said, and I realized that I was remiss in making that point, that despite the East and the West and some alliances maybe on the East and on the West at different points in the Ukrainian history, there has always been a united Ukraine that wanted their independence, both from the West and from the East. And then, of course, though, you still had, and I think, Volodymyr, I think you can agree with this, there are, just like we saw Zelensky, you know, you have pro-Russian people who bring the country back toward Russia and things like that. That's the point I was trying to make, but you're absolutely right. I think that I didn't talk enough about how independent-minded Ukrainians are, and despite one side being more European in culture and one side being maybe more Eastern European in culture, there was still very much a Ukrainian people who wanted independence. And I appreciate you pointing that out because I think you're right. I think I didn't make that point, and I may have missed the mark on that. So thank you. Number two, his second comment. It's not about being with NATO or not, as one of the guys above wrote. We just woke up one day in a world when a neighbor country sends army to steal a part of your motherland. Remember, this started in Crimea. Russia invaded the Ukraine in what was it, 2014, and just stole Crimea, and we let them have it. We just let Russia do that. Stole Crimea, which was a part of Ukraine. So he says, we woke up one day and a neighbor country came and stole part of our motherland. Imagine if Canada just came in and said, you know what, we're just going to take New England. If they just woke up one morning and Canada had invaded Maine and New Hampshire and Vermont, right? That's what's happening. That or if England did it, to make it a little more equal, because Ukraine used to be part of Russia, and so Russia feels entitled to just come in and steal parts of their motherland. So it would be like England just coming in and occupying New England one day. Right? Can you imagine? Well, can you imagine that feeling? I can't. And when you say the whole world, hey guys, how is this possible? The world says like, let's trade with them. Maybe you don't understand. Maybe you are right. Maybe they will stop with only one part of the country. And then 8 years later, they start dropping bombs on the cities and shoot the nuclear stations. And we're like, didn't we tell you? He's right. We did nothing under Obama. He did nothing when Russia stole Crimea. Nothing. Oh well, what are we going to do? They're a superpower. They've got nukes. We don't want to get into a nuclear war or another Cold War with Russia, and that's what it is. The fear that somebody's going to push the button, which is kind of ridiculous. I want to talk about that later. But right, that this is what Volodymyr is saying. We did nothing 8 years ago. And this is the result of us doing nothing, of us letting that happen. Well, I got away with it once. I'm going to go do it again. And what's to stop him from taking all of Ukraine and moving into Poland? Are we going to let that happen? Or no, we're going to stop because Poland's part of NATO? So I hear you on that, Volodymyr. I hear you. Number 3, he says, Putin, Russia governments, Russia whatever, he says in parentheses, Russian governments, Russian whatever, will not stop eating us. That's because they eat not because of hunger, but because of fear. Wow. You think that's really what it is? You think that's Putin? You think that's Putin's sole motive, you think, is fear? Fear of losing control of his country, right? Because Ukraine has been prospering under a democratic system, right? And he's afraid of losing power. That makes sense to me. Why did Russia invade Ukraine? And part of what I said was because he just could not stand having a successful democratic country on his border that used to be part of the Soviet Republic. So, thank you for this very much, Volodymyr. I want to thank you for taking the time to comment. I wish you all the best. I'm getting chills and I can't imagine what you're going through. And if it were up to me, our military would be going in and protecting you. If it were up to me. If it were up to me, I probably can't say this in a video, but if it were up to me, we would be taking much, much, much more drastic measures to stop the bully, to stop Putin. We've done it before, Osama bin Laden, right? So that's my thought. So our thoughts are with you. I hope, I don't want to demand, but let's rally around Volodymyr and all of his fellow Ukrainians in Kyiv and wish them well. Leave your comments below. And Volodymyr, I hope you're here. I hope you'll read the comments and see all the support that you have here and all the people wishing that our government and our military would do more. Volodymyr, also stay in touch, okay? Let us know how you're doing and keep commenting, okay? So that we know that you're okay. Take care. Bye.